Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dr. Polysock. I'm one of the teachers here at James Jordan Middle School, and welcome to my classroom. So let me go ahead and share a screen with you, and then we can get started right away. And once again, welcome to the 6th grade. So I am Dr. Polysock. I will be your child's teacher during the first week of school, and that might change during the second week. It all depends on the results of the exams that students are going to be taking during the first week of school. But if your child does end up switching classrooms, don't worry because all the teachers here at James Jordan Middle School are great. As part of the 6th grade team, we have Mrs. Tidwell, Mr. Robertson. Here I am, Dr. Polysock with Section 62. We have Miss Griego, Miss Gameros. Our PE teacher is Miss Vargas. Mr. Guzman is our resource specialist. And we have two paraprofessionals. They are Mrs. Burke and Miss Nieto. So let's go ahead and take a look at our classroom expectations. The first one says, be prepared and ready to learn with necessary materials. So during the first day of school, your child is going to get a bunch of supplies. So these are the basic supplies that we're going to provide for your students. So just make sure that they're here every single day, ready to learn and ready to go. The second one says to respect yourself and others and their right to learn. Next, we have our safety procedures. So to keep your kids safe, temperature checks and new masks will be given as students enter campus each day. Masks must be worn at all times, indoors and outdoors, unless students are eating or drinking. Masks must be worn over the nose and mouth. And yes, students may request a mask break with their teacher. There will be water bottles and hand sanitizer provided in every classroom. Students should request to use the restroom, and their teacher will let them know when it's okay to leave the room. And when students are outside, they must remain at a 6 feet distance from one another. And I'll put the Spanish translation here for our paraprofessional to translate. Next, we have our parent expectations. So the first one says to review and sign your child's agenda every night. If a student does not have their agenda signed, it results in a no homework demerit for the students. So the agenda is where we write down our daily homework assignments, and the agenda looks like this. So every night, please go through your child's agenda, and once they've shown you that they've completed their homework, please sign off that they have completed it. Next, it says to read the monthly packet of flyers that is sent home. Next, we have Dean's List, which is how we keep track of behavior here at JJMS. And we have a saying that says doing what is right, not what is easy. So this is our behavior modification system for earned rewards and consequences. JJMS uses a digital tracking system. It's similar to Class Dojo, which a lot of elementary schools use, but it's customized to JJMS. And on a weekly basis, you can expect a report to be sent home, and it updates you on how your child is doing academically as well as behaviorally. So please review it and sign that, and then send it back to school every week. Next, we have two forms that we're going to talk about. So we have the easy form, which looks like this, and we have a right form, which looks like this. So these are the two main forms that we use to keep track of behavior. The first one is called the easy form, and it sounds good, but this is actually how students lose points for bad behaviors. And again, it's part of our behavior modification system, and students will be issued this form if a demerit is earned for bad behavior. If this happens, parents must sign the easy form, and the student must return the form to the teacher within 48 hours. So if they get an easy form, this is the report that you'll get. Right here at the bottom right is where you'll see the parent signature space. So please talk to your child about the behavior that happened at school, sign it, and then have your child bring this back the following day. So this is the easy form. It sounds good, but kids actually lose points when they get an easy form. The better form is this one, and this is called the right form. So the right form is how students earn points, and students will be issued this if they engage in good behaviors, and they earn merits. Merits are given to students who show exceptional behavior and make good choices. So the form that you want your student bringing home is the one with the stars. And this is how students earn points at JJMS for good behaviors. So let's go ahead and take a look at our grading policy. So first we'll look at power math, language skills, history, and science. So for these classes, 50% of the grade will be based on independent academic assessments. So these are grade level tests, and 50% of the points will come from this. The other 50% of points will come from classroom skills, such as homework that is assigned or things that we do together as a class in the classroom. So for these classes again, power math, language skills, history, and science, it's 50% is based on tests, 50% based on classroom skills. The other two classes, your grade level math class and your grade level reading class, the grading is different for those classes. For these two classes, tests are more important. So tests account for 70% of the grade in both of these classes here. And the reason for that is in order to earn a true A in this class, you have to actually be at grade level. So that's why the tests count for more in these two classes, because these are two grade level classes. And in order to get an A for this class, students truly have to be at grade level. And that's why the tests are weighted more heavily. And the other 30% of points come from classroom skills. So these include homework and assignments that we do together as a class. And here is the Spanish translation. Next, we have homework. And yes, your child will be receiving homework this year. So some homework assignments will be given over multiple days. And the parent responsibility is to check for homework completion every night, not correctness. So all you have to do as a parent is just check to make sure that your child did the homework. You don't need to check to make sure it's correct. When your child comes back to school the next day, that's when we'll check it to make sure it was done correctly. So don't worry about checking to see if it's correct as a parent. Just make sure it's done. And then we'll check the homework when they come back the very next day. Here's the Spanish translation. All right, next up is section placement. And it says that there are six sixth grade sections that are determined by your students' performance on the independent exams and least restrictive environment, or LREs. The independent exams will occur during the first 2 weeks of school, and section changes can occur each quarter. So once again, I am going to be your child's teacher for the first week of school. That might change after the first week, but don't worry, as I mentioned before, all the teachers at our school are great. And here is the Spanish translation. Next, we have our finals week policy. This is super important, and you'll notice that it says students must be at school for final tests, projects, and presentations during finals week for each quarter. If a student is absent, the student will receive a 0 for the test, and that'll significantly bring down their grade. So make sure your child is here for finals week and that you're not out of town during this time. Number 2, excused absences are medical emergencies, court orders, and funerals. And number 3, please avoid making any appointments, including doctor or dentist appointments during finals week. So you should have a copy of the school calendar. Please try to schedule your appointments during non-school hours, and also vacations. Plan them when the school has vacations so that your child doesn't miss any days of school. All right, next we have our agenda policy, and you saw earlier what this looks like. So here's the actual policy. First one, it says parent guardians are responsible for asking the student to see the agenda and any accompanying assignments. Letter B, parents are responsible for signing the agenda and writing any notes of concern to the teacher in the agenda. So that's how we can communicate with each other, is by writing notes to each other in your child's agenda. Teachers are responsible for making sure students write the correct assignment and any important dates into their agenda. And students are responsible for Letter A, writing the assignment down exactly as the teacher has written it. And letter B, having the agenda on them at all times, and it must be in good condition. So the first one is free. We provide it to your students at no cost. But if they lose their agenda or they damage their agenda, new agendas can be purchased from the main office for $5. All right, next up we have supplies and organization. First bullet point says, students will be given their supplies during the first week of school. And I showed you a picture of that already. Here it is. So these are the supplies that will be provided to students, and you have a handout of this. Underneath that, this is our 6th grade supply wish list. So we gladly accept donations, and if you'd like to donate any of these supplies to the school, we will gladly accept them. Students will be graded on a weekly basis on their ability to maintain their organization of supplies, including handouts, notes, etc. from teachers. And students will be provided with essential items. So one big change in middle school is students really have to keep organized because they take different classes and have a lot of materials that they need to keep track of. So one of the most important supplies is this agenda. Not the agenda, I'm sorry, the binder right here. This is how they're going to keep all the materials organized for all their classes that they're taking. And here's Spanish translation. Next up, we have absences. If students are absent for 1 day, they have 1 day to make up work. For extended absences, parents must contact the main office to obtain assignments for all classes. If students are absent for tests or quizzes, on the day they get back, they must communicate with their teacher to make up the test or quiz. All right, next we have our makeup policy. It says students may retake any assignment in which they receive a score lower than 70%. The highest score a student may receive for a retake assignment is a 70%. There is one exception though for your Power Math class. So it says, Power Math focuses on math fluency, which requires practice and precision. Therefore, for Power Math assignments, students are required to make all corrections. Power Math assignments are graded as all or nothing. So it's either 100% or 0% for that class only. Next, we have our cheating policy. The first bullet point says there's no communication during tests and quizzes. Secondly, it says we are strict on plagiarism. So that's when students are writing an essay or a paper, but they copy someone else's words and try to pass them off as their own words. So we're strict on making sure students don't do that. Next, we have a zero tolerance policy on copying homework and classwork from others. And cheating is a major offense and will receive serious consequences. So we take academic integrity very seriously at JJMS. Here is our bathroom policy. All students are permitted to use the bathroom as needed, and all students have 3 free bathroom passes each quarter for each class. Once a student has used all bathroom passes, they may be charged merits or be required to make up lost classroom time. Here we have our cell phone policy. It says no cell phones are allowed in the classrooms. Cell phones brought to campus must be checked into the main office in the morning. And we do have cell phone lockers, and students will be able to lock up their cell phones and access it with their code, and that'll help make sure that their phones are safe and secure. How to contact us. Email is the best way for parents to contact us, and if immediate attention is needed, our Google Voice numbers will also be given on the very first day of school. At any point, parents can make an appointment for a personal conference. This can be done by calling the front office. On your handout, you're also going to see the contact information for all the staff members in the 6th grade. So here is the school's phone number. Keep this handy on your on your home refrigerator or wherever you keep important information. And these are the team members for the 6th grade team with our email addresses listed down here. And once again, later on, you'll receive our Google Voice numbers in case you need to reach us via telephone. All right, here's our last slide. So the first day of school is Monday, August 16, and students must be in full uniform every day, including the first day of school on August 16. Be advised that the parking lot is very busy on that first day, so please plan ahead. Try to get here early so that you don't get stuck in traffic, and to make sure that your child gets to class on time. So here is the uniform. They can either wear a burgundy top like this or a gray top. And during PE, they'll be able to wear their PE shirt just like this. All right, so that's the end of our presentation. And we're going to use this time now for questions. And once all the questions have been answered, I will see all of you in person on Monday, August 16.